They won't even acknowledge that they don't know something. Damn, man, this is bad. When a minor's informing you of how to lose your qualified immunity and you just go with it. NANI? Dynamite! Hey guys, how you doing? My name's Heero. This is the Identity Booth. Last topic of the show. I want to call it a Karen Keith thing, but it's just a great. What it is actually just a great own of and showing of like our just how ill prepared and how unprepared our police departments are when it comes to handling situations. So let's take a look at this video. It's a little long, but it's worth it in every sense of the word. This video came out when? This video is kind of old, but it's just currently resurfaced, and I just had to cover it. It's just chef's kiss. Let's get into it. Just for the backstory, you're about to watch a police officer pull over what looks like a teenager. He has a vertical ID, so I believe he's between the ages of 13 and 21 because he doesn't have a horizontal one. So he's between the ages of 13 and 21, and he just decimates these officers and uses a lot of this thing that I call white privilege to his benefit, to show us something, and you love to see it. So let's get into it.
What? Why are you giving me the finger?
I'm walking away.
Huh?
Am I free to go?
Why are you giving me the finger?
Am I free to go?
No. Come
For
here.
what reason?
Why are you giving me the finger?
I'm free to go. Am I free to go?
What's your problem?
Am I free to go?
No.
What, do you have a problem?
No.
Do you have a problem?
No.
You don't have a problem, then I can leave.
Why are you giving me the finger when you're walking? Get over here.
Why?
Because.
Is that a lawful order?
Yeah.
For what reason?
Because you're giving me the finger.
He looks like immediately. Doesn't this kid look like Jack Black? He looks like Jack Black, like he about to pull out a guitar and start rapping some shit on the mic. Oh man, that's hilarious. He's like, what? Am I free to go? Like, he's being antsy. And for anyone who's gonna say he's not showing respect, respect is not something you have to give to officers. It's not part of the job description. They're the most. Are police officers the most hated? Probably meter maids or like parking ticket meters people. They're probably the most hated. But officers are top 10, top 5, top 3. Politicians. No, I think cops are above politicians. Yeah, I think they might be the most hated profession, but they're up there, right? So this kid is showing angst. This is a consensual conversation. This officer is telling him to stop. He's asking, why are you stopping me? He's saying, get over here. The officer's trying to think of something. Officer can't think of something, so he's responding late. Like the officer's trying his best to think of something, to the grounds for reasons for stopping this kid. And he doesn't have a reason for stopping him. There's no grounds for this. This is an illegal detainment at this point. Right? And the kid's asking all the right questions. Am I free to go?
That's legal.
No, it isn't.
Hey everybody, it's James.
I don't need your explanation.
Well, I'm gonna be on a male subject. Radio by Rivercrest.
So basically what you see there is he turns around. He turns around to go mess with this kid. The kid flips him off. And he turns around to go mess with this kid.
What?
Get over here.
What?
Get over here.
Why?
Because.
Is that a lawful order?
Yeah.
For what reason?
Because you're giving me the finger.
That's legal.
No, it isn't.
Says who?
Says it all.
Pull up the law.
Huh?
Pull up the law.
What's your name?
What's the law?
What's your
What's
name?
the law?
What's your name? How
What's
old
the law?
are you?
Jay, get on the game. I'm about to hop on, brother.
Fucking pig.
Whatever.
He calls him a
What?
You heard me.
Hey, yo, he said, fuck you, pig.
I appreciate it. pig.
Whatever.
Fuck you.
What?
It sounds like the officer said something to him too. Hold on.
Have a good one.
Please.
Fucking pig.
Whatever.
Fuck you.
The officer calls him a dick. The officer calls him a fucking dick. Or maybe he said, you fucking kid. And then he walks off and says, yeah, fuck you. Like,
What?
You heard me.
you heard me. You heard me.
Come here.
I'm afraid of you.
Come here.
You think I'm afraid of you? Now his ego's
Get over
hurt.
Get over here.
What?
Get over here.
I'm not doing anything illegal.
Yeah, you are. You just cursed me off.
That's
Turn
not a
around.
crime.
Yes, it is.
Says who?
Says me.
Says
Turn-
who?
Turn around. Come on.
Bro, that is not a fucking crime.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It's,
Why are you cursing me?
it's not against the law. This has already been decided in multiple circuit courts. This has been motion in a bunch of appeal courts, and more importantly, in the Supreme Court. In fact, oh, okay, you're at work. In fact, if you hinder the right of someone's freedom of speech, you could lose your qualified immunity. Like, this is grounds for being sued. So, I mean, this kid is absolutely in his right. Any officer you see, you're allowed to film them within a safe reason. You're allowed to display your, you're allowed to express your disagreement with the government in a verbal sense. There's no situation or scenario where this shit is like that shit is acceptable, right?
It's not a crime.
What's your name?
It's not a crime.
What's your name?
Help! Help!
No help.
Help! Help! Help!
The corporal turns off his body camera once the kid starts screaming for help. If that isn't the most guilty thing I've ever seen, could you imagine an officer trying to detain a minor and the kid is screaming for help and he turns off his body camera? That's super sus. I don't know what your chat said. I don't know, Jay. Don't be pissing off the bot. So here's the second angle from the second officer. And remember, all of this started because one officer couldn't handle his feelings being hurt.
Arrest right now because I was cursing at him. And he said,
You're being detained. Because you're acting strange.
what? That's not legal.
It is legal. He's allowed to
Who is
detain
this
you
kid?
until he performs his
So what am I
investigation.
doing though? What am I doing that made him detain me? What legal
Every
right?
time I rode by him twice, he shot me the finger. So I turned around and say, well, you're
Is that a crime?
No problem.
Hold
Then
on
he
a
tells
second.
me
That's not a
This is
crime.
causing public
Okay,
That's not-
and
no,
here's
that's not
something
gonna
that's
help.
super.
Yeah,
Here's something
fuck
that's
off,
super
man.
interesting.
I rode by him.
This
That's not
officer. Watch the new officer show up. The new officer that shows up signals to his chest, implying that he can see that officer's camera is not on. And remember, the officer turned his camera off when he started yelling for help, which is super sus. So this officer showing up is clearly trying to play within the realms of his law, but he's a patrol officer, so he's dumb. He's no smarter than a high schooler.
It is legal. He's allowed to
Who is
detain you
this kid?
until he performs his
So what am I
investigation.
doing though? What am I doing that made him detain me? What legal
Every
right?
time I rode by him twice, he shot me the finger. So I turned
Watch
around and
this.
say, well, you're
Is that a crime?
No problem.
Hold
Then
on
he
a
tells
second.
me
That's not a
This is
crime.
causing public service.
Then he
That's
tells
not,
me to
no, that's not a
to
crime.
F off, pig.
Yeah, fuck off, big. That's not a crime.
Okay. Yeah, and you see his head look down. He points to his thing, and then his head looks down. So yeah, and the way the body cameras work is like the body cameras are always recording, but is when you go to activate it, it backtracks and gains the last 30 seconds, so that it might not have the sound, but it'll keep the video. So basically, whenever they hit their camera on, it records for 30 seconds. It takes the recording 30 seconds prior, and when they turn it off, it keeps recording and saves the last 30 seconds, but it'll keep recording for the next power on.
That's not a crime. He's looking at you because he's like, what the fuck you want me to do? Because it's not a crime. I know my rights.
He does.
Who are you?
I don't have to say any of that.
You do if you're being detained.
What's that?
You do if you're being detained.
For what reason?
What
What legal reason am I being detained for?
Where are you coming from and where are you
What
going?
legal reason am I being detained for? I need to know that. Legally, I need to know that.
Why are you
Shooting me the finger.
Why are you
Is that illegal?
Why are you
Cursing at
flipping the bird? Yes, it is. It's causing a public disturbance and a public alarm if you are cursing
So
in
a
public.
single one.
So when you are cursing in public, you are causing a public disturbance. You're being a nuisance to the public.
In what way? When he was driving
It's
past?
protected free speech.
That's singular. That's singular. Well, I'd like to see you guys prove it in court.
It's called causing a public disturbance.
I know the
by
law.
being a nuisance.
I know the law.
All right. So at that point, what he is doing is he's not saying you're being charged with anything. At that
I'm
point,
just
he is
figuring out
detaining
what's
you
wrong with you.
to make
What's
sure that
going
there
on?
is nothing
Make
wrong.
sure you're okay.
What
Make sure that
reason,
you're okay.
What reason does he need to detain me?
He thought maybe he thought you were signaling him down. I'm not sure.
That I was doing what?
Were you
I was-
signaling to him?
No,
Listen, I was
no.
just-
You knew very well that I wasn't signaling to you, right? I wasn't signaling
Well,
to you.
you bring attention to yourself.
That's not singular.
You're acting strange. I'm making sure you're okay.
Dude, that's so funny. Like, you're not here for my safety. You're not trying to protect
How
me.
do you know?
You're walking
may
on the
be-
side of the road and you're cursing and you're flipping the bird.
Once at him. I gave him the finger once. That
you know
will
him?
not hold up.
Do you know him?
That will not hold
Why
up
are
in
you
a
giving
court
him
of
the
law.
finger?
That will not hold up in a court of
Why
law.
are you giving
I
him
know
the
my
finger?
rights.
Do you know him?
It's not your business.
Do you know him?
It's not your business. I
It is
plead the
my
fifth.
business.
I plead the fifth then. You guys make nothing out of
So,
something.
by you cursing and using vulgar gestures, it's
So what's
causing
the
a
First
public.
Amendment for?
It's causing a public disturbance.
What's
and
the
a public
First
alarm.
Amendment for?
This kid is tearing them apart. Like, they can't even think straight. Like, they're not even able to respond and think straight because of how thorough they're tearing apart. First and foremost, he acknowledges that both of the officers acknowledge that he's done nothing wrong, and they're trying to pin something on public disturbance. Public disturbance is protected under the free speech. The public disturbance statute only works if he's actually causing distress to the public, whether it's a noise ordinance, physical body harm, impediment, any of those statutes. But to do that, to do the verbal aspect of disagreeing with your government is protected outright. It's protected outright. And good on this officer down here for, you know, trying to dig this guy out of a hole, because this guy's already fucked. He handcuffed him, detained him. You're already fucked, my guy. I really want the update to this story. That's what I really want.
First Amendment is for your freedom of speech. Okay.
Okay.
What does that have to
Okay.
do with?
Was I
using
making a call
gestures?
to action? Was I making a call to action? Was I? Was I like
When you were
threatening
acting-
you in any way?
what are you
Did I
talking
threaten
about?
you?
Do you
You
understand?
know what a
your-
call to action is?
Do you understand that you're acting?
Is that a call to action? Am I
you-
calling for an action to be done against you?
Do
No.
you understand
You're
that
bringing
it is?
attention to
Listen,
yourself and
listen,
getting
listen, listen.
That's illegal.
It's behavior that's out of the ordinary.
I understand how it works.
So
but
therefore,
legally,
he
it
stopped
would not
to talk
hold.
to you. Clearly, if he stopped all the way back there.
Nah, like, these officers are so bad. They're so bad at they're not getting anywhere with this. They're not getting anywhere with this. Like, they're trying to mansplain and explain the situation to him as if he has the opportunity. Like, you don't. They're trying to make it sound like now it's about protecting his safety and making sure it's okay. None of those things came out of the officer's mouth when he first got there. None of those things came out. He asked him immediately, "What are you doing? Come here. Why are you flipping me off?" It wasn't, "Hey, are you okay? Do you need some type of help or services?" And it's all on body camera, and I'm pretty sure he's going to make reference to that camera being on.
I'm assuming you guys were back there and you just
We
continued
went
to
back
walk.
a bit further
You
back.
just continued to walk.
I wasn't running. I told you that I was free to go, and you all of a sudden.
Stop, and you ran down here. That's
I
why
wasn't
ran
running.
up.
I was walking.
He
Once
wasn't
you-
running,
in
he
order
walked.
for you to stop, you're supposed to stop.
I
That's
did
not a
stop when you
lawful
originally
order.
said it, but I was asking, is it
And then he
illegal?
told
Is
me
it
to
a
F
lawful
off,
order?
and he took off.
Yeah, because I kept walking because you weren't pursuing at the first. He only started pursuing because I said,
listen,
fuck you, pig. That's
listen.
when you got a little upset.
So
He got his panties in the pants.
listen, we're here at this point now, okay? You've brought the attention to yourself. You've
Yep.
caused the public alarm.
Yep.
So now,
Well,
what
I'd like
we
to
are
see
doing-
you legally
so
hold
now
that
what we
in
are
court
doing,
because
I'm not charging you with anything, so I
Well,
don't
I
legally
would-
need to hold anything in court.
Well,
okay?
I
What
could-
I'm doing is
I
I'm
could always
trying to
bring
figure
this
out
up.
why you're walking on the side of the road, okay, and why you're continuing to signal to a police officer.
I wasn't signaling.
Okay.
See, now you changed the story.
so-
now you're changing the story. Was I signaling or which one was it?
So what
'Cause now
were you
you're-
doing?
Well, I want to know from your perspective. What
I
was
pulled
I
up onto the
what
scene,
did
so you tell me what you were doing.
To bring you attention.
I plead the fifth.
Oh man, he's fucking destroying these people. Like he's literally eating them alive. Like they can't think straight, and that's the part that's funny. He'll plead the fifth. He's making them contradict their stories, and all of this is on camera. And one officer says, "I'm not charging you with anything." The other one's, "Oh man, this."
You fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot.
He's mad.
I've been a cop, Tricks.
Longer than you.
Listen,
Longer than you, I'm not a cop, retard. You're fucking retarded, bro.
Oh man.
Yep.
what? Like what? I don't understand what the point of this is.
I'm walking. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
It's the Fourth Amendment to be allowed to walk without seizures or anything like that.
You
But
sure?
he's ju-
Are you
Yes.
sure that's the Fourth Amendment?
That's the Fourth Amendment.
He literally. Can we just talk about how this officer's comeback line? This officer's comeback line to this teenager. Oh man, you just know this officer was the kid that used to eat Oreos and had that shit on the side of his mouth. This is what happens when you don't leave your hometown, people. You busted up your knee and you were on the JV team when you busted up your knee. You weren't even on varsity. You weren't even on varsity, my guy. Oh, you hate to see it. Honestly, you hate to. His retort to, the kid asked him, how long you been a police officer? And the guy says, longer than you. That's, oh man. It's like, I know you're stupid, but what am I? You're a dumbass. You're a dumbass. I really wish I knew this kid's name. Oh man.
You
You want to bet money on it?
You sure that's what the Fourth Amendment? It gives you the right to walk.
He says
without
you want to
seizure.
bet money
What's
on
gonna be
it.
seized while you're walking?
My body, my person, idiot.
I'm seizing you?
Yeah.
Did I
Yes.
You were about to.
Come on.
You were about to.
Listen.
He said I was going to be under arrest. He fucking
He
said it.
said you were
I
detained.
said stop.
He
No,
said you were
or you're
detained.
gonna be arrested.
So now what
Yeah,
happens?
so
now what happens?
he just admitted that
now
he was
what
going
happens
to
is when
arrest
he
me.
gives you a
Yeah.
lawful order to stop, and you do
It
not
wasn't a
stop.
lawful order, though.
And you do not stop.
It legally was not a
and
lawful
you
order.
do not stop, then that becomes a criminal offense, and then yes, you can be put under
But
arrest.
it's not a lawful order. Then I take it to court, and then he'd get sued, and I get
Maybe.
punitive damages. I'd be rich as fuck. Is that what you want?
That
Oh,
may-
you don't know the
that
law,
may be
buddy.
what happens
You don't
if
know
you
the
think
law.
that that's what's
You're
gonna
fucking
happen.
wrong.
It
That's
may be
more.
what's going to happen. It may not be what happens. Okay.
Okay, I
What may
understand.
happen is
All right, so
is
what
you
are we
may get a
wasting time
normal
for?
jury.
Am I free
and
to go?
What
Am I
may
free to
happen
go?
is you may
Am
get
I
a
free to
normal
go?
jury. No, because at this point
For what
you
reason?
were detained. Okay, because he told you to stop
Okay.
and you didn't stop.
Okay.
So therefore, you need to identify yourself as a part of the investigation. So what is your name?
Okay, I'm gonna need all of your badge numbers.
I will give you everything written down on a card.
What's
I'll give it all
what's
to
your
you.
rank?
I'll give it all to you
What's
on
your
a card.
rank?
Patrolman. I'm
What's
a
your rank?
patrolman. That's my rank. Patrolman.
Patrolman.
Okay.
And you?
Okay.
Interesting.
So, what is your
I
name?
could give you.
If you have an ID,
Am I?
that's perfect.
Am I? Okay. I'll take it to court
If you have
because
an
this
ID,
is
that's
still
perfect.
this is still a detainment.
Are you a juvenile?
This is an illegal detainment,
Are
so
you
I
a
can still.
juvenile?
I'm not going to answer that.
You have to answer.
Why?
Because you're being detained.
I said I'll give you my ID, buddy.
Are you a juvenile?
Okay, so right here, and this is the only part of the video that's kind of dumb to me, because you've made it this far. Him identifying himself might lend itself to, it just depends on how the courts would want to see this, but him lending himself to being ID'd might disregard the whole detention. And this is me hypothetically speaking, because they could say, well, he was willing to identify himself, but he could also say, I was willing to only identify myself under the duress of arrest, right? So I would have loved to have seen him stand his ground all the way through this, but him copping out here at the last minute is just kind of like, oh, come on, man, you ruined the perfect video. You were doing so well.
No.
You got to redeem yourself.
Okay, so.
Better.
Because it has to be handled a little bit differently. That's all. If you're a juvenile, I have to call your parents and I have to advise them that I'm out with you and that I'm speaking.
Go ahead,
with you.
Piggy.
That's all it is. Okay.
He keeps fucking with this guy.
He's such a fucking pig, bro.
So what does that make you?
Not a pig. Dude, this is
you for
illegal.
saying?
This is illegal, buddy.
What is the point?
This is illegal.
There's nothing illegal about it.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
You wanna
there
bet money?
is.
We're gonna
These
find
cops really don't. That's like, this is common law. That's the frustrating part is, like, they won't even acknowledge that they don't know something. Damn, man, this is bad. When a minor's informing you of how to lose your qualified immunity and you just go with it. And you're having banter back and forth with this child. Like, you can't tell me who the adult is. Like, from a distance, you would see an adult talking to two adults talking to a child. But if you zoomed in to hear what they were saying, you would realize they're all dumbasses.
We'll see in court, bud.
Listen,
And he's the smart, and the kid is the smartest amongst them.
we're gonna find out. Okay.
We'll
When
see
you
in court.
cause a public disturbance and a public alarm, and you become a nuisance to the public, okay?
You'll legally have to prove that I was a nuisance
When
to
you're
the public.
standing-
How will you do that? How will you do that? I just want to hear
Camera
your-
systems. Okay, so when he goes by in the car, okay, and he sees you doing what you're doing,
And what was
that's
I
all gonna
doing?
be there.
And what part of that caused a disturbance? That's what I'm trying to legally understand. I don't
There is
understand.
no part
Is that
of
a
it.
body camera?
That's what it is.
Perfect. Tuckerton doesn't have them. You know that? Tuckerton's been on back order for a month. Because I have a lawsuit against them. That's why. And I wish they'd have fucking body cams.
That kid is gonna be a great lawyer, man.
It takes out the bad cop. That's what it's for. It's not for the good cop. It's for the bad cop. Well, to protect the good cops as well.
It's for all of us.
To take out the bad cops.
It's for all of us.
Right.
It's for all of us. It's for everybody that's involved in the situation. Okay?
Appreciate it.
There you go. Okay. Now, listen, if you have any problems or anything, and you want to come down, you want to talk to somebody, our supervisors are always there as well. Okay?
Well, I'm going to
And
take
you
a
can do
lawsuit.
that.
So who would I press criminal charges against? For what?
You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to
police
call.
officers.
You're gonna have to call and figure that out with a lawyer.
I don't need to answer that. I'm asking you, where would I go to press charges against a police officer?
You would have to come down and file a complaint with
It's
the courts.
at this police station?
You would have to file a complaint with the courts.
Got it.
Okay, and then you can go from there if you want to see if you can press charges and whatnot. If you
Perfect.
violate.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
All right, am I free to go?
Give us fingers.
Shut the fuck up.
Stay out of
He's not going.
the roadway. Stop causing a public alarm.
Dude, shut the fuck up. Am I free to go? Am I
You're free to go.
Stop cursing. Go fuck.
You're free to go.
Yo, he's a man. He's a maniac. He's a maniac.
Courts.
Got it.
Okay, and then you can go from there if you want to see if you can press charges and whatnot if you
Perfect.
violated your rights.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
All right, am I free to go?
Don't give us fingers.
Shut the fuck up.
Stay out of the roadway. Stop causing.
Yo.
a public
Why
alarm.
you give me the finger?
He doesn't care.
I'm walking away. Am I free to go?
He doesn't care. Okay, this is Little Egg Harbor Police Department of Ocean County, New Jersey. Corporal Michael Pitts and Patrolman Michael James, Prick, detained his victim and handcuffed him for giving him the finger. Officer James. All right, we now know the names of the officers. Let's see if we can find out what happened to these ass swipes. That's hilarious. Let's see if we can find out what happened to these guys. Just to make it fun for me. Cause someone has to have taken legal action, right? Let's check out this video. Someone has to have taken legal action, right? Oh wow, people are speaking up on the guy. Was such a fake tough guy in high school. I told you. He thought he was hot shit because he was on the basketball team. I told you. And hung out with the popular jock kids. I don't think he played more than 5 minutes his senior year. And I told you. I know it's lame to reflect on high school stuff, but him being a town cop makes so much sense. That being said, I think that he handled the situation much better than the other piggy. Okay, so he's talking about the second patrolman. They're more authoritarian behavior. Damn, man, that's crazy. Well, hey, no point in fighting it. Piggy, I want to come with them at the same energy. Come at officers with the same energy, y'all. I just wish that kid had held his ground and not given the ID. I'm happy that this made it to the thing. There doesn't seem to be any information on like what ended up happening to the officers, but hopefully, you know, the embarrassment. This kid committed murder, honestly. He bodied their asses and sent them down to the gulag the way he headshotted these kids with the knowledge. But this has just been an episode of expression of how ill-prepared police officers are to handle any situation. So if police aren't able to handle this situation, they're not able to handle an active shooter, not able to handle a mentally challenged individual. If they're not able to handle someone who's experiencing extreme poverty, what do you call them for? And therein lies the question. But I mean, I ain't gonna fight it. You guys already know where I stand on this type of stuff. Let's see if we can raise some.